man. I'm right here.
What's up?
What's
What's
going on?
up?
I will not be held down.
What's up?
You want what does that hoodie say you got on? What does that say?
Now,
Baseball?
it's Jordan Love.
True football love.
Yeah, it's
You know
Jordan
he's about
Love.
to sign a big contract, right? He's about to sign a big
I
contract.
know. I know. Lots of
He's about to
money
get
right
paid.
there.
Big dollars.
Yeah.
So
Got a lot of people,
we're he-
and
we're all here for the every other week cardboard
yes,
show.
yes, yes,
I'm excited. EO Dub, I called it. The EO Dub.
yes,
That's awesome.
All right, so let's jump into. We got a few people
yeah.
here, but let's jump into why we wanted to start this show. And I'll jump in there first.
All right.
I want to be a part of something that talked about sports, cards, pop culture, whatever it may be, and with totally different mindsets. You know, Jenny, myself, and Sam, we're from three different parts of the country, very diverse backgrounds, and we're going to bring our own perspectives to the conversations. And sometimes y'all may see a little debate go on. You may see some people tag team and say, "Hey, I'm with Sam," or "I'm with Jenny," back and forth, and that's really what it's all about. That
Yes.
was for me. Jenny and Sam, what y'all thinking?
Jenny, how
Um,
about you go?
yeah, so I think this is something that I was thinking about the other day. There are a lot of really powerful women in the hobby. I feel like some of them may be in the closet. I think there may be a fear of women in general getting respect in the hobby. Like we don't know what we're talking about. So I'm really hoping that me being here will bring some of those women that aren't necessarily upfront in the hobby, bring them out and give them a positive experience and let them be brave and just get themselves out there.
Trailblazer.
Respect,
Go
respect,
ahead, Jenny.
respect.
Yeah, like that. Like
Thank you.
that. Sam?
So FD, you know me, I'm a thinker. I am always thinking about ways to create like more access and more entry points in the hobby. And you know, oftentimes I think about different things that run through my mind because you know I do my weekly, my bi-weekly like cardboard show where I'm like posting different content, and you know, also too for myself to like be on here more live, especially with some of the stuff and the projects that I've been doing lately. And you know, just watching everyone who does this, you know, on a regular basis, it was just inspiring. And I said, you know what, I want to try this, and I want to do it with a group of people who, yes, we all love cardboards, but we all come from, you know, different backgrounds and different perspectives, and it showcases what the hobby is as a true like melting pot in like the most authentic way. So yeah, and you know, FD came up with the title just in a general like text conversation, and I said, you know what, the every other week cardboard show makes sense. You know, it gives us the time to come together, you know, and talk about the things that's going on in our world. And you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you all want to do this with me, and everybody who's
Well,
here tonight.
so Sam, I got to ask you a question because I know people want to know, and I will want to know. So before you sent me a note and I called you back, what went through your mind when you said, you know what, I want to do something that's different? Like, what were you thinking about?
I was just thinking about like, you know, I'm a visual guy, and I support everyone who contributes to the hobby. And, you know, for me, oftentimes I think there's so much untapped potential in a hobby. And there's these everyday stories that just don't get told. And I say, you know what? I want to do that. And I need to find people that help like bring this to life. And you know, I thought of you, and I said, man, I hope FD says yes because I know he's super busy and he always got stuff going on, you know, related to the hobby. And you know, right away, it wasn't even a question. You said, let's do it, and I was like, you know, I asked you. I said, now we just need a third person, you know, to make it, to bring it all together so it can feel right, and we show, you know, what the hobby is in an authentic way. And you know, you text me right away and you said, I got somebody. And I said, who? And he was like, Jenny. I said, all right, let's do it. And it wasn't even a question. And now we're here.
We're
Now we're
here.
here.
And it's exciting to be here. To tell you the truth, I had thought about, I wanted to do something like what you're talking about that was different, and it was a different platform. And we had kind of talked about that, but it was an idea that then we moved on to something else. And when you hit me up, it was like the perfect thing that I had already started chewing on a little bit. What could I do on Instagram, but be with some people that I really want to be with? I don't care if we met every week, every 2 weeks, whatever it may be, and actually talk about stuff. And then have the courage to have conversations that some people may just want to stick to what's happening on cardboard. We may
Yeah.
say we want to talk about something else. So, and then Jenny came to mind. So I'm in the car, I just got off the phone with you, and April's in the car with me. And we started talking about the concept. She was like, oh man, that sounds great. I was like, who do you think I should ask? And the first person she said was Jenny. She said, y'all just went to Atlanta, had a good rapport with each other, had great conversation. I think she'd be a person that could jump in there with you all and add some stuff. And then we started even talking about how we're all in different parts of the country. And here we are, people.
Yep.
Yeah,
Three different regions, all on one Instagram live. It's dope. It's dope.
absolutely.
It's so dope.
We got the
And
entire
shout
United
out to
States covered.
everybody. Shout out
Yeah.
to everybody who hanging out with us
That's
in
right.
the room. I know I just want to say, man, FD, when you made that little like teaser, just to see the amount of people who shared it, liked it, saved it, commented, I was like, man, that's inspiring. That's so inspiring. And I was just like, this is awesome. This is awesome that people want to be a part of this world that, you know, we're trying to create in terms of like the hobby and cardboard. And, you know, it's just that true saying that I always say to myself, the hobby is a true multi-universe, and you know, it's a space and place where everyone wants to contribute and have fun and connect with each other. And it was awesome to see that type of response from everybody on social media. Like people that I never met before, or that was connected to you, Jenny,
Totally.
connected to you, FD.
Right.
And it was just amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch, like everybody else's friends liking it and then liking our pages. And I think it just flowed really well. Yeah, absolutely.
And what was so cool about that is that, you know, we had our own videos of what we wanted to say. And then when I turned that over to G, I told him just, man, create something that you will want to see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sprinkled his 19-year-old genius on top of that and just tried to come with it. So
no, that was dope.
But I got
that was so dope.
It was.
I got a hot question for people though. We're gonna jump into some topics here.
All right.
So our cardboard hot topic segment, we're gonna be talking about today. Does Ant-Man play match his card values? We know that Ant-Man's cards have gone through the roof. If you look at National Treasures and Flawless, very expensive cards. He's one. I always say one or two players that plays above the rim. You got Ja Morant, you got Ant-Man. Ja Morant is out hurt right now. But let's go around the table. Jenny, you jump in there first. Let us know what you think of Ant-Man, his play, and then are those prices matching that play?
So I was actually kind of looking at, you know, like his rookie card. Right now, I think the flagship card, the 2020 Prism rookie, it's around $500 to $600 only for a PSA 10, which I look at it like that's really low compared to him being, like, to me, the number one player on the team. Sorry, but he is. You know, and it's a top 10 team. I mean, a number one team in the division. So I'm like, why are they not higher? So no, the answer, you know, my answer would be, I think his card prices are a little low for as well as he's playing. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Sam, what you think?
So you know me, traditionally, I am not a expert on cardboard value. I tend to stay away from it because my historian brain just, it doesn't flow with it. But I was thinking about this, when we had our little get together to plan this out, and I was like, you know what? I watched Ant-Man when he was in college. He played above the rim in college. He was a high flyer, and I'm gonna come from an angle that most people might not respect. I'm looking at his nostalgic value in his cards, and I think about like some of his rookie cards and all the cards that I have in my PC of him. I would love if they make a concerted effort to like showcase his athletic ability, to
Okay.
showcase like some in-game dunks. And the person that I think about immediately, like going to the 90s, is like Sean Kemp. When you think about all Sean Kemp's cards, like dunk cards, unbelievable dunk cards from the skybox, the flares, the tops. And I want to see more of those like in-game dunks from him, especially somebody whose like head is always like touching the backboard.
Sure.
So I think they could do a better job of increasing his nostalgic value, because I think we get a lot of like poses from him, but not a lot of in-game stuff.
So for me, I like his play. I think the only thing that I always disagree with is when people start comparing him to Jordan, Kobe, and Vince Carter. I haven't seen that yet, but I know that the NBA
Yeah,
is a business. You got to hype up, you got to market some stuff. I got to drink a Pepsi in a commercial and make it look like it's the best thing I've ever drank in my life. So I realize that, but it still kind of irks me a little bit when I think about its true greatness and you're comparing the guy who's in his fourth or fifth year to that. But I don't hate on Ant-Man. I think he's a electric player. People are going to want to see him. I think he's national treasure. So I go straight. When I start looking at cars, I go straight to high end first, because to me that drives everything. Right now, we're all looking at a SGA 101 Black Prism and trying to determine where is that going to sell at, to look at where's the rest of this stuff going to sell at. I think Anthony Edwards' high stuff, uh, these premium brands are elevated because there's some hype in there. And we got to know that Luca, Ant-Man, there are certain players that really propel the hobby forward as far as values and notoriety and what people are talking about. Ant-Man has reached that status. So I think a little of his stuff is overpriced, but I still know that when you look at eBay, you can find some gems out there if you take your time. Some things that's out of 20, out of 50, out of 99 that are out there that have a pretty reasonable price. Don't be afraid to purchase something that's raw. If you have a keen eye and you can look at cars and turn that into something graded, you might be able to find
so
something.
I want to push a little bit, FD.
What you got?
I grew up in the psychology, the era where psychologically Michael Jordan consumed us, because we all wanted to be like Mike. I was that
That's right.
kid, watching the Bulls when, they had their first three-peat, their second three-peat. I was the kid who was sad that Michael Jordan left the NBA and was happy when he
Mm-hmm.
came back. However, I do see the comparisons of why they make that Michael Jordan connection, because early on in Mike's career, before he was the mega star in the early 90s, he was this freak of nature in the 80s, and he was like one of one. And that's the comparisons that I see when it comes to Ant-Man and why they make that, because he is like a freak of nature playing above the rim in this era of like super big guards, super long guards, and you have somebody that's like, I wouldn't say he's 6'6" in real life, but like 6'4", 6'5", who could just jump out the gym, and do magic with the ball. So I think there's that connection
Well,
to
I
Mike's like
just got, I
early
just
years in
got,
his
I got,
career.
I just got spoiled, man. Growing up on the South Side, seeing the Bulls my entire life. Mike came in very aggressive. He was a dunker, but he did much
Yeah.
more. And then I started comparing eras. So a lot of people say don't do that. FD don't do that. But I started looking at how points were scored, and then what was the average amount of points scored per game in the NBA. And Mike scored points when it was very difficult to score a point.
Yeah.
When people are putting you you up by the concession stands, slamming you to the ground, hand checking you, clotheslining you, doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So now we have a very watered down league. So if you're scoring 27 a day, it's not 27 and 84.
Yeah.
So those are the things. I mean, I get it. Like, and plus the average person doesn't get into the nuances of basketball like that. And they're pretty much surface level. And that's no diss on them. That's what people do. People got lives to live and other stuff to do. That's what they do. There's only a few of us that just dive up in that thing and go almost scuba dive into it and really get into it. So I understand why they make the comparisons, but Ant-Man knows in his heart.
Yeah.
He's got a long way to go.
Oh, of course. I'm only comparing athletic ability.
Well, and I think
That's
the basketball card guy on the comments actually said it straight. Got to win some championships though to get the rest of the.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And that's really where we're at. Like you are lacking that whole aspect.
You got to think we can even go below that. 2-time All-Star, one time was an alternate because somebody got
hurt.
So,
right.
I mean, I'll step back and let them get after it.
But also too, it's hard. It's hard to be an all-star when you playing in the West.
Yeah.
As a guard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Now if he's on the East, who knows?
I agree.
But it's hard to be. I mean, I was looking at some like vintage cards, some of my vintage cards in my collection when like Tiny Archibald, Pistol Pete, and somebody else, and they had like the Topps All-Star cards. And I was like, man, I wonder who got snubbed that year. Mm-hmm. You know, like playing with those three guys. You know what I mean? So it's hard on the West. It's hard on the West.
You're right. Even this year, Steph was a backup.
Yeah.
At AD. Yeah. But I think he's gonna come back next year with something.
Yeah.
But it's all good. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question because then I gotta run in. We came from an event at junior school, but I want to ask y'all this because I want to pull some cards out. And so our next topic here is what's your PC card of the week? Sam, you go first. You're gonna see me moving.
Yeah.
But I'm listening.
So I was all week I was thinking about this and I was so hesitant and it made me. And then I narrowed it down to like 3 cards, and then I was like, all right, I got my card. And the reason why it's my card because it's connected to like our wrap up, but I'm not going to go into that. But my PC card of the week is the 1972 Topps Artist Gilmore rookie card. That's my PC card.
Love it. It's nice. That's a fun card.
Yeah, that's my PC card of the week.
Yeah.
Super clean. I just like this top set. I think it's dope. So many good rookies in that set, and you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong.
It's just a really funky style. I like the words and kind of psychedelic.
The design, you know, and then like that ABA flair. You know what I mean? That ABA connection.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong with that. You can't.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
FD, are you gonna go next or?
I think he's running.
He's running. All right. How about we go to me? You wanna go to me?
Yeah, let's go to you, Jenny.
All right. So right now, I am going hard on the Josh Young cards. I actually met him at the Dallas Card Show. Really cool guy. So this is actually my PC card of the week. Plays for the Texas Rangers.
Like it.
And I think at least every week I'm getting 2 to 3 of his cards. So that's
go turn it off.
New addition to my PC.
All right. Somebody said Pete_G_E said all-time dunkers, MJ, Vince, Sean Kemp, Kolb.
Oh, they ain't lying.
No.
They tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, why don't we let that man get in the dunk contest? Don't be scared.
You know, for what it's worth, I think Sean Kemp is probably the greatest in-game dunker of all time. But he was not a good dunk contest dunker. If you put like 10 people under the rim and he did all his dunks, he wins the dunk contest every year. But like by himself, you were like, man, the way he contorted his body was awesome, but the dunk look average. You know what I mean? But
It almost
if
looked
you
like
put
he
someone
overthought.
underneath the court, you'd be like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It almost looked like he overthought his slam dunk dunks, and in game he just went for it.
Because you think about it, he got beat by Cedric Ceballos, right?
Yeah, think about that.
Like,
who's
like,
the
come
dunk?
on. Like,
But it's not on
come
that
on.
level. Not on that level. So my card of the week is this. I'm a big Shea fan. So this is the second year Shea Flawless, which is a real cool card.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely Sean, Dominique Wilkins is all-time great dunker. Hands down. I still think he beat Michael Jordan in 88.
The energy he brought.
I
He
still
couldn't
think he beat Michael
beat Jordan in Chicago, though.
I still
But
think he won that one.
I think a lot of people do. I will even say I'm on the fence. He got down that day.
I mean, a windmill dunk from the baseline, because that was the dunk he got the 49 on, right? Compared to like coming from the free throw line. Like, I get the historical significance of like dunking from the free throw line, but come on, Dominique won that hands down. Hands down.
Side note, congratulations, Dominique Wilkins just got married like 2 weeks ago. Congrats, Dominique.
Rodman was
Let's
the
see here.
rebound king because he stood under the rim and studied how the ball bounced off the rim. Facts.
Yeah. I love me some Rodman.
But also, don't disrespect now, Rodman's left to right movement to put himself in position to get that ball was unmatched.
Yeah.
Well,
Unmatched.
we're not going to ignore the greatest rebounder of all time is Wilt Chamberlain.
I know. Sam's gonna come with Will. Yeah.
You know, I got to make a Wilt Chamberlain reference.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I mean, Dennis Rodman
They
grabbed
wouldn't even
12.
keep that man's stats right.
Dennis Rodman grabbed over 12,000 rebounds for his career, but Wilt Chamberlain grabbed like 22,000. So, like, come on, it's huge difference. Huge difference. I mean,
I agree.
I think you put Wilt in any era, he's the best rebounder in the league. You talking about high IQ? That guy was the workhorse.
I agree.
But I love Rodman.
Next segment we're moving to is Collector on the Rise. Who do we want to shout out in the community that we've rubbed shoulders with, got to know, or affiliated with through social media?
Sam, think you up first. Oh, I go first. So
go first.
I don't know this person. I don't know this person personally, but I follow her on Instagram. She is a like Jason Tatum like super collector, and she also collects Pokemon. So we got my daughter collects Pokemon, so there was that connection there. But her Instagram name is That Girl with Cards. Her real name is Kiona Kiki. She posts a lot of cards, a lot of cool pictures of her cards, and I think if you're not following her, you should follow her because she got some dope cards of Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And
she's honestly adorable. She's adorable too. Yeah. She's fun to watch. Yeah.
Go follow That Girl with Cards.
I agree. Jenny?
All right. So I actually have met this person at Lucky 7 in Austin. It's our local card shop. It's Couch Potato Collectibles. He has a great Instagram. He actually started his Instagram or his whole Couch Potato Collectible thing because he wants, his goal is to open a brick and mortar hobby shop. So that's why he started. He does Whatnot once a week, just selling cards. But he's really fun to watch, and he has some great creative reels. And so that's my upcoming Instagram person you need to follow, Couch Potato Collectibles.
Shout out Couch Potato.
Couch Potato. So I'm going to come in here. This is the individual that I come in contact with almost at every show, every event in LA. He also travels to Arizona. He's been to several different states. He goes to San Diego a lot, goes to the Bay Area a lot. This is Eddie Hernandez, Slab Money. Slab Money is a very savvy gentleman in the hobby. knows cars very well. I love the way he makes decisions, and we have good conversations when we catch up about how he's making moves and what his intentions are and why he's doing what, which I always get into when I talk to people. It's not just about the cards you pull out to me, but it's also about why you collecting that. Is it something personal that your father, mother, cousin, uncle introduced you to that franchise or that player? What's the story behind it? And Eddie and I have great conversations. So, Slab Money, this is for you, my man.
Shout out Slab Money. I got to make sure I follow him. I love telling cardboard stories and listening to people who tell cardboard stories.
Yeah.
So on a given week, we will move on now to our guest of the week. So not only are we going to talk about people in the hobby that we want to give a shout out to, but we also want to have a guest of the week. It's going to be an individual that comes through for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll ask them some questions about themselves, their background, what they're doing in the hobby, and their why, to completely understand. And so that means that's what this segment is going to be. There's going to be some rapid fire questions to the individuals from all of us. You can give us recommendations on who you want us to have on. We're also going to nominate some people amongst ourselves to bring on that we have, either admire from afar or we actually know them, things of that nature. So you'll see some people coming through. And I'm really excited. We're all really excited about this segment of the show because
it was like a great debate in our planning. Right?
It was.
That's right. It's to showcase the hobby overall.
Yeah.
And no better way of doing that than to talk to people.
No.
So.
Yeah, my light bulb was like going off instantly. I'm like, oh, there's so many people I want to talk to, and because they're interesting. I find them so interesting. So just to have them on here and be able to hit them with them questions, and to really get gritty with them, I think it'd be fun. So
we had some discourse. We had some fun discourse in a cool way. And I like that.
It was.
And I can't.
And those questions are going to include things like how long have you been collecting? What have you been collecting? Describe the hobby in one word. What's an overrated, underrated subset of cars that you are affiliated with? What's your current chase cars, things of that nature. And if you out there have a question or questions that you want us to ask, you can hit up Sam, Jenny, or I, and let us know what questions we can probably add to this segment, and we will do that.
Shout out to everybody who's still with us. Appreciate everybody joining us and asking questions and putting their comments in. This is truly dope. I see a lot of people who joined. Said hi.
Yeah, we got the Reverend in here, JD, Denny Cards, Sanders 24, Blake. Give some shout outs here. Rip it and ship it.
I saw Cage the Lawyer in here. Cage the Lawyer was in here.
Okay, Cage the Lawyer's in the house.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
We got NWO Sports Cars. Imani's up in here.
Yeah.
Kaylee Miller. A lot of folks have come. Big John's in the house from Connecticut via the south side of Chicago.
My husband's here.
Oh, where you at?
He's in there. I saw him.
Okay. All right.
He's in the other room hiding, so I didn't hear an echo. I'm like, you gotta go far away.
Sasha, big shout out to you, my man. Big shout out to you.
I'm sure
we might have
my
Sasha on.
My kids are here too. My kids are here too. Megan's here. Lizzie's here.
Whole family in the house.
Here. Oh, see, he said I'm very quiet. Well, he said quiet, but I know what he means.
Shout out to Mr. Campbell.
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell in the house. All right. So the end of our show here is the wrap up. We're going to talk about some local shows, regional shows, and national shows that we've been to. Some of our personal experiences. What do we see going on? Or what happened in our past weekend? Just how active we are trying to be in the hobby all together. I'll kick this off. I know tomorrow I'm going to the premiere show. So if anybody's going to the premiere show, I'd love to say hello to you, see what's up. Recently went to the Burbank show. I thought it was a great show. Probably one of the shows that I went in with the most focus on what I wanted to do there. From a grading perspective, graded a few cars, had some RCR stuff with Beckett, sent that in with them to have it come back. I got a tracking number. They told me 4 weeks. I got a tracking number in less than that. It should be here next week. Also graded a car that we're going to put in some content that it's an amazing story as far as how the card grade changed when Beckett graded it. But I walked around. My goal was to look for some Shea rookie cards, or one rookie card in particular, pretty good one. After grading with Beckett, walked around, found that the Thursday VIP night of the show. Almost my entire show, as far as buying, was over then. And then I tried to do a lot of networking and getting to know people, meet new folks. And what the coolest experience was, I was in the Beckett line, met a father with his son. His son was 4. And his son told me he spoke 3 different languages. He had some Pokemon cards in his lunchbox. He moved his grapes and stuff aside and pulled out his Pokemon cards. And it also told me he was in a basketball camp and all kind of stuff. This 4-year-old was on another level.
That's dope. Shout out to Ziggy. And Peter said the Chicago Sports Card Spectacular is in 2 weeks.
Okay. That's a great show. So I used to go to that show growing up in Chicago. It's a great show. I mean, you got autograph guests. You got great dealers. You could almost consider it, some people may not like the term, but I used to call it the mini national when I was there.
Wow.
Same space. Great show. Jenny, go ahead. Tell them about it.
Oh my goodness. I have a busy next couple weeks. Well, a couple weeks ago, FD and I were at Cards HQ in Atlanta, which is amazing, beautiful. Prices are actually like great. You'd be surprised just walking around there. So that was something I did. Now, what I have coming up is I have the Dallas Card Show, which has become a staple of mine, the last few years, just because it's only a couple hours away. So that is actually the 14th through 17th. So Sasha and I will be going Thursday and Friday to go up there and walk around. It's pretty big. And then actually there's going to be an Austin card show. I think it's considered like the first one at the Parmer Event Center in Austin, Texas. Santiago is running that one, and that is the 23rd and 24th. So I'm hoping I'll probably be going to that one alone because it's a weekend. Sasha always works weekends, but I'm going to try to hit that up too. So I'll have a lot of good stuff. And actually, I think by the dates, isn't our next show going to be is it the 15th?
It's the 15th.
Yeah. So actually I'll be in my hotel room and be able to tell you all about the Dallas Card Show, what I got, who I saw. So I'll have a good update then.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
I got another shocker for you. The 15th is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
We can sing live.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to kick it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's a busy time in this area. Fishtown Card Show is happening. Philly Card Show is back in a couple of weeks. But I want to talk about I have an announcement I want to share, and I've been waiting to share it on here. You guys already know what it is. But before I share my announcement, I want to talk about the weekend I had. It was like a weekend of firsts. Like, obviously, everybody know, like, Topps Rip Night happened all over the country. And that was my first time experience something like that. But, I collected in the 90s as a kid. And, we didn't have hobby stores in our neighborhood. Just didn't happen. And the kids who collected in my neighborhood, we had no idea what a hobby store was, a local hobby store was. So and let alone a show. And the Brotherly Love Card Show happened last weekend, and it was done in Philadelphia. And oftentimes, a lot of card shows happen in this area, and they happen, in the outskirts of Philly or in Jersey. But for the first time in my life, I was able to go to the Philadelphia Convention Center downtown, which is like 15 minutes away from my old neighborhood, and participate in a card show. And, shout out to the Brotherly Love Card Show. It was a phenomenal show. It was packed. A lot of people was there, and me and my daughter Skylar went. So it was a cool dad and daughter moment. And just like walking around the room and seeing a ton of people, running into people that I knew. And it's like, man, a card show in the city of Philadelphia. And I'm excited about the potential of that in the next show, and other people saying like, you know what, let's do it right in the heart of Philadelphia. And I want to say like the Fishtown show, they do it in Philly at the casino, but to do it in, you know, close proximity to, you know, some neighborhoods, I just thought it was dope. And it was a lot of fun. But my announcement is, you know, I came back to the hobby during the global pandemic, and, you know, just started exploring cards at a deeper level. Then, you know, started to write about cards and my experiences as a kid with cards and my experiences as an adult. And it just led to, you know, I just finalized, you know, my contract with Topps, and I'm going to be doing some freelance writing for Topps. So it's I'm still a little bit on cloud nine, and I'm excited about it, and I can't wait for this journey to like explore writing, what writing is going to look like, feel like, and sound like with them. But, you know, I'm super happy. I'm super happy.
Happy for you, Sam.
It's going to be fun.
I know. I'm so excited for you. I remember us talking about it, and you were just, you were so excited but so nervous at the same time. And I was just like, you planted the seed, just let it grow, just relax, let it grow, and then all of a sudden you hit me up and you're like, hey, guess what? I'm like, see, you planted the seed. You did.
Yeah. And I can't wait. And the shout out to Bobby, because Bobby actually brought my name up. You know, he works for Topps. He's a black male, and, you know, he, you know, reads my articles, and he shared it with people in the room, and for him to, you know, take that chance and say, hey, I have this guy who can add to what we're trying to do, and to meet and sit and talk with, you know, some of the people who work at Topps, and to have it all come to fruition and it be finalized, you know. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait.
I think my daughter Lizzie said about your experience at the Philadelphia show that like it's like your whole youth card thing coming full circle, and you know how cool that is. And then my husband said something about Ant-Man is out. Personally,
oh yeah, he did get hurt.
He's not coming back. If you guys knew if anything was up with that.
Hold on, let me do some research.
Because he just said he's out.
Jump on the computer. Gotcha's coming through in the clutch.
No, I think he did get hurt. He got hurt.
It said personal.
But then he came back in the game.
Yeah, it said personal.
Okay.
And you're welcome for the invite here.
You know, Ant-Man has some stuff going on, but
oh yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But
okay, this is the way this article sums it up. He left the Timberwolves game today. Today is March 1st, to be present for the birth of his child.
Oh, okay. Well, that's important.
Awesome. That's important.
Way more important than basketball. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought it could have been something like that, because they had talked about, I know there are 2 children coming, and one was close.
Yeah.
So I did know that. So, and one, I think his girlfriend that had this child. So,
yeah.
Congratulations, man.
All right.
Very cool. Very cool. Look at Sasha, you keep coming through, man. Getting us that in. I like that.
He got to be our. We got to get him to be our showrunner.
Yeah, I was thinking he should be a guest. He's always got plenty to say. Except he's so shy. He's shy. He won't.
Sasha tried to say he's quiet. Lizzie said, "Oh no, you ain't."
No, she lived here. She knows better. He's not.
Right. Yeah. That's good stuff.
So we got some busy stuff happening all 3 of our cardboard wheels, and shout out to you all. I'm super excited to hear your stories when we meet again.
That's right. I know we also want to jump into a cardboard battle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got battle.
I got the heat.
We got a battle.
I got the heat.
Okay,
hey, FD, can you explain to the people listening what this is going to look like? Because this is more than just like showing cards. This is like bragging rights. We're going to have a leaderboard.
Yeah, we're going to have board. We want the people to get into this and vote for who do you think, not us, but we can be biased.
Yeah.
Who do you think best cards each week when we bring them out here
I
and
got
then
the
tell the story
fire.
behind it? I think
I got
I'm a little.
I'm sorry, I got the fire.
All right, you go first then.
Yeah, you
No,
go first.
no,
No.
you go first, FD. I got the fire.
All right, so I got this 4 out of 5.
Oh.
2014 Panini Select Aaron Donald Purple Mojo card.
There you go with the modern stuff, the shiny modern stuff.
And the cool story about this is I'm on eBay one day. I always tell people don't be shy to get on eBay when you got a little time. You're doing something else, and I'm browsing, and I find this card for $135.
Ooh,
and Aaron
that's a steal.
Donald was the second defensive player of the year, and my fingers couldn't move fast enough.
Wow.
I was shocked. That's the story behind this card. Probably why I would never get rid of it. It's just rare itself, but just it's such a cool looking card too. You know?
No, that's dope.
Yeah, that's a pretty card.
Dope card. That's clean.
That's pretty card.
That's clean. All right,
That's my fire.
I'm gonna go second because
right.
I know Jenny wants to go last, but my card it was one of my I created like a top 10 grow list, and I found it at the last Fishtown card show. So 1949
Wow.
Bowman Richie Ashburn rookie card.
Oh, that's fire. That is fire.
Yeah, that's nice. That's sweet
Clean.
card.
Clean, very clean, beautiful card. So make sure y'all vote for my card. Make sure y'all vote for my card because this is the heat right here.
No
this
soliciting votes.
This the heat.
I think Sam got me though now. That's real. Jenny, what's
All
up?
right, Jenny.
All right, so I put a lot of thought in this because I have a lot of really good cards, and I was like, should I pull out the firest of fire and hurry up and at least get one win under my belt just in case I fail the rest of the time? But I actually decided on this card because when I was on FD's podcast, one of the questions was, is it going to be Wemby or Chet as Rookie of the Year? And at the time, I was collecting hard on Wemby. Like, I had faith in Wemby back then that he was going to be Rookie of the Year. So, of course, I followed the whole Wemby hunt, and I was pulling, and I actually ended up pulling this beautiful purple Wemby Anna, and it's a PSA 10. And so this is my fire.
Now y'all see what's happening, right? They got two modern cards going against a vintage.
Hey, there were no rules. There were no rules.
No rules.
Vintage is like gold, baby. It's always going to last forever. Make sure y'all vote. Make sure y'all vote. Who's got the fire this week?
Look, I see Wemby. Wemby. I see lots of Wembys.
Oh, I see some Ashburn in there. Who got the fire this week? Who got the fire this week?
Final fire.
Oh, how fun.
Got a question for both of you all. What players from what sports are you excited about? Who are you excited about right now?
I'll go first.
Let me tell you mine. You want to go second?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I don't have make sure y'all vote for my card before we jump in. Make sure y'all vote for my card. FD's gonna put a poll out. Make sure y'all vote for my card.
Yeah, we'll put a poll out.
But I don't have a particular player, and but I do want to shout out like women's college basketball, and I'm super excited for March Madness this year, and I'm going to watch every game. I watched all the games last year, all the tournament games last year. I think this year you got the best, one of the generational like freshman class. You got seniors who are about to like have their last dance and their last hurrah in the tournament. So like the script, you couldn't ask for a better script for women's college basketball this year. And then you got like the rise of the girl from Utah. I don't want to butcher her name, but she's a phenomenal player. I think she's like a top 3 player this year, and she should be on everybody's WNBA draft boards. And then I'm just excited about women's college basketball and everything that has happened with them this year, and I think it's an honor well deserved. I know during All-Star Weekend, I didn't watch any NBA All-Star Weekend stuff, but I was watching South Carolina versus Georgia. And it was a fun game because Georgia had South Carolina on the ropes, but they pulled it out. Good old Philly Dawn Stelly. So that's what I'm excited about. Not a particular player, but women's college basketball.
And Dawn Staley was she newly elected to the Hall of Fame? Isn't she going to the Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure. I think she's already been in it.
Dawn Staley in Hall of Fame. I'll look that up. I'll validate that.
My daughter just said All-Star Weekend was trash.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
It was.
No,
I'm still trying to remember it was in the skills competition, but that's
my favorite part was the whole 3-point with Sabrina, and there was this one quote that she said that stuck out to me because it was versus when people were asking about girl versus boy, and she was like, if you can shoot, you can shoot. It doesn't matter. And I've really tried to keep that to heart with my whole life. Just anything. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm female, right? If I can shoot, I can shoot. That anything that I try to attack in life. So I loved when she said that. That was probably my best part of the whole All-Star Weekend.
Quote me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead, Sam.
Quote me if I'm wrong, but there were a couple of years in the McDonald's All-American game, because they do girl versus boy in the 3-point shooting contest, where girls actually beat boys some years.
Well,
but I don't know. Maybe
the reality is
like,
she beats. When you looked at her, I mean, she didn't beat Steph, but her points were more than the guys prior to her.
Wow.
So she did beat like 5 people.
Yeah.
She just didn't beat Steph.
Yeah.
So.
And he's the greatest shooter of all time, but she's a pretty good shooter herself. Yeah. So you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Sam, did you say greatest shooter or greatest point guard? Which one did you just say?
I say he's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm not ready to succeed that title yet. I think Magic still got it.
I know. I'm still on Magic too.
I think Magic still got it.
Yeah.
All right. It's 2. All good. So my player that I'm really excited about right now is Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
The young man can ball.
Okay.
He's a complimentary player.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost you.
Sound.
Here, I'm here.
There you are.
His growth from Santa Clara is phenomenal. His brother right now is in college playing ball and playing well, but Jalen Williams to me is just on the rise. I love to see his development over time, and I'm excited about what he's going to do in the future, especially this year when they get to the playoffs.
Caitlin Clark is on fire. Is on fire.
Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark's the truth. Yeah, she's the truth.
She is her.
I will hope. This is what I will hope. Nobody's walking around talking about is she really the real deal? If you haven't seen enough already to know that her release, everything about what she's doing is legitimate. She's going to be a poster player for the WNBA and help promote the sport. She's also most likely going to be involved in what Sabrina was just involved in the All-Star game. And there was some comments about maybe Dame and will pair up with someone and Steph will pair up with someone and they'll play teams against each other. No matter what you do, that has become the center focal point of the NBA All-Star Weekend. What's happening with that? Yeah. Skills competition, 3-point competition. The dunk is terrible because there's really no name players and you got G League versus NBA. Yeah. This is what people see and they're going to showcase.
Yeah. No, Caitlin's a hooper. I mean, if you're in denial about that, you're just a hater.
Hmm.
You know, I understand why there is some criticism of hers because of the team that she played on. She don't have much help, but she's a hooper. You know what I mean? You know, so I can't wait to see what she does at the next level. Um, you know,
And then we also can talk about young players like Juju Watkins that's coming up from
oh yeah,
LA.
she's a
That's
truth.
all out for you to
She's a
see. I mean,
truth.
there's so many people that you can talk about who are putting the work in
Yeah,
and yield goals early. That
her and the girl from South Carolina, they they play like the balls on a string.
mm,
They play like the balls a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they
magic,
they coming, folks.
magical, magical, straight magical.
They
My daughter said,
so
"Will Clark be able to revitalize the WNBA?"
she's gonna be a major component to me. She's gonna be a major marketing component.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's a hard question, and I think that's way too much pressure to put on her. Because you think about all the talent that came before her, like generational players like Candace Parker, who was the Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been done since she's been in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's way too much pressure to put on her. I just think we as a society need to make a concerted effort to respect women's basketball and women's sports in general. Because I think I think a majority of the time they play harder than men. I think they shoot better than men on a whole when you look at overall stats. And I just think that we need to, you know, stop some of this like toxic masculinity and just pay respect
Absolutely.
to them, because
respect is the word. Yes,
you know,
respect. Exactly.
they work on their craft, and I think they work on their craft harder than some of the men who play in the NBA. So
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
and again, that's just my opinion, but I know what I see, and as someone who's played basketball,
unfortunately, we do have to work a little bit harder to get that respect.
Yeah.
It's the truth. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like sometimes that's how it works.
Kansas, great player, but she does not shoot like Steph. No, she definitely don't shoot like Steph, but she is a generational player. We're not going to deny Candace Parker her greatness. She's
who does
shoot? Huh?
I can't name one person that shoots like Steph. So that's not a
it's
no.
That's Curry, man. So we
great
got
shooter all the time.
We got final thoughts here, but I want to ask two questions. I'm gonna combo on something. First, we're gonna talk about C.J. Stroud. He had a phenomenal rookie year. His rookie card prices are going almost straight up. It's not even linear. It's just quadruple platinum, like Tupac said. It's just going straight up. What do y'all think about that? Do you think
I'm gonna take the back seat to this final thought, because I don't know nothing about football cards. I do not collect football cards. I think there's way too many players, too many positions, and so yeah, I'm gonna leave this to the experts. And I have not watched a lot of football in a lot of years. I just started watching football for the first time in I want to say 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenny,
all right. Well, I have some CJ Stroud cards, and just like my whole Jordan Love cards, and having faith in he had such an awesome season. CJ also, I think because we can see his potential, and I'm looking forward to watching him next year. I think his card prices are very high now, which makes me happy because he's actually in my husband's PC, and we had fun pulling those. So, but yeah, he's gonna be great to watch next year. I think football as a whole for these rookie quarterbacks, that showed just that little glimmer of superstardom, next year's gonna be great. They got it under their belt. They kind of got the nerves out. We know what they have, what they're capable of, and now next year they can power through. And CJ's one of them. So, yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal player. He had one of the best, if not the best, rookie year of any future Hall of Famer that you can name. Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Steve Young. None of them touched CJ during his rookie season.
Mm-mm.
I just always get a little fearful of a lot of people jumping on something and that thing just doesn't go right. Let's say next year he blows something up.
Right,
Or,
right.
you know, Jefferson almost set a record, and then he only played like 4 games. So there's a lot that can happen in the world of football, and I think a lot of times in the hobby, we think injuries don't happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wishing it on Jay because I think he has a phenomenal future ahead of him. I hope he doesn't get injured and blows all these records and stuff out.
There we go. Ha! There you are.
I'm new to this Instagram live world, but shout out to everybody for coming back.
But that's the joy of doing something different, is that we all learn together.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You get bumped off. We could have just went on with our night, but we ain't going on with our night.
No, I can't do unfinished. I can't deal with that.
Shout out to everybody who came back.
I know everybody's back. It's awesome.
So now that we're back, this is my caveat question to CJ Stroud. We just found
before you say that, FD, I had something that I wanted to share. I had a point.
Go ahead.
This is the one thing that I do know about football. For him to replicate what he did this year or exceed that next year, you got to make sure he has an offensive line that's going to protect him.
Of course. Yeah.
That's the key to successful quarterback play. I do know that much.
Yeah.
Sam, you played a little football back in the day?
I did not.
Did someone throw you a ball and you catch it?
Oh, I played street football.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I played street football, and I quickly knew that my football career wasn't gonna last because I was playing street football, and it was the last play of the game, and it was nighttime. I ran this route, went up, caught the ball, and I landed in the back of a hatch. What happened?
Somebody said Instagram Live's really glitchy, so maybe it's glitchy for everybody. I don't know.
All right. Well, hey.
We'll hurry up just in case.
So you said you caught a ball, you landed in the back of a pickup truck?
I landed in the back of a hatchback. Like, you know those old hatchback cars with the windows, the long back window shields? I landed in that, and I woke up at St. Christopher's Hospital.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
Yep.
You went for the rock.
Yeah, I went for it. I caught it, though. I caught it.
There you go.
You did.
Yeah. But growing up in North Philly, we couldn't afford football. It was too expensive. And then back then, they didn't really have, like, the programs that they have now for, like, Pop Warner and how, like, you know, they're embedded in the communities, you know, all throughout the country.
Right.
We also had baseball. We had the RBI program, but it wasn't really that good. And I was like the only left-hander in the neighborhood. So I had to put a left-hand glove on, catch the ball, take it off my left hand, throw the ball with my left hand. So, yeah. But basketball was cheap and it was easy to play.
All right. Good story. Good to know that.
Yeah.
So my last thought was, I want us to share what we think. We just found out yesterday, day before, that the umbrella over PSA purchased SGC, and I think we got to let people know what we think about it.
I don't know. I mean, you know me. I don't jump into that world, FD, but I thought it was interesting.
So they said they're not going to change anything. So that's good because we just started using, you know, obviously we use PSA, but, you know, I think it was Cage, the lawyer, that said something really interesting this morning. He said for Beckett, so there's a lot of people that are against using PSA. So, you know, they don't grade with PSA. Well, now you have, you know, everything combined that people are going to go to Beckett. Yeah. So this is kind of Beckett's opportunity to start promoting themselves and have people come to them. I thought that was a really interesting thought process.
I like how people just skipped over CGC with that, you know. Yeah. Nobody's talking about what CGC should be doing because we don't hear from them.
No.
I have submitted for PSA. In my heart of hearts, I just love SGC. And I mean, and like, and this is me like making a historical connection. I love the idea of like them being like the underdog and the small guy and going up against PSA. So it's sort of like, but it's also like the business of it. Mergers happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
I agree.
that happens in our society. You know what I mean? It's a transfer of wealth. So
Right.
who knows what conversations were being had really behind scenes. You know, we know the narrative that's told to us, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? To not cause like hysteria or like, you want to keep like brand loyalty and brand identity. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a smart thing to say like, SGC is still going to be SGC, but we're a part of this bigger conglomerate. So,
Yeah. I
we can
I think
improve
somebody
who
just
we are.
asked that. Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
just said, like, are they going to be valued like PSA? But
Yeah.
I mean, like SGC, we use them for our vintage because obviously we get them back quicker and just it makes more sense for our vintage cards. But no, it's supposed to stay the same.
Yeah.
So SGC is still going to be SGC and
Yeah.
it's going to be valued the same. It's not, supposedly nothing's changing. So I guess we'll see in reality now that when it happens, if things change. But
Well,
it's
a
supposed
few
to be
people
exactly like
didn't
it is.
see what I thought, and I said, well, there are different Fords on the street. There are different Teslas on the street. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a parent company that is owning two different grading companies, it doesn't blow my mind. I'm on what Sam was like. This is business. This is mergers and
Mm-hmm.
acquisitions
Right.
at play.
Yep.
And if you think about it, like you just talked about, you use SGC for your vintage.
Mm-hmm.
They do different things for the end user. PSA, I still haven't figured out how PSA is number one with almost 1.2 million slabs per month, but people say they don't want to grade with them. I still haven't.
Yeah.
I ran the numbers and that doesn't add up.
No.
So somebody out there don't know who you are. Somebody is saying I don't grade with PSA,
But
but
they
they
are.
sliding that thing as men and they
Yeah.
send that.
Top
Yeah.
line sports card said, I think they should improve the look of the slab. It's the lowest hanging fruit to grow the brand. Ohio Sports Card said HGC is a slept on slab.
Are we talking about SGC?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
SGC probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
SGC.
the tuxedo slabs. Those are,
Yeah.
I mean, I love the look. I do. But PSA is where the money is, unfortunately, most of the time.
and
But I do
when we
love
first started buying
SGC.
graded cards 20-something years ago, Beckett had a premium over PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we don't. I think Beckett is trying to solidify with these acquisitions that they
Yeah.
still have that brand. There are some phones that's better than iPhones,
Mm-hmm.
but when you pull it up now, people look at you a certain way.
I mean, I think personally, I do every once in a while I do like looking at my Beckett slabs because I love the subgrades.
Yeah.
Subgrades. I do have a lot of PSA slabs. And it's also like the mystery of like when you feel like you have a higher card or you look at like, oh wow, I got a 10 for this card, but I have this card and it's a 9. What's the difference? I would love if PSA did that, but I also think that's what keeps them like exciting in a sense
Yeah.
because they don't share that information. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
they
And
want to know, but they
yeah,
want to know. Yeah,
yeah. So
because
we'll
and
see.
everybody can get 7s. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But I do like SGC because of vintage.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you just pulled out something saying that was fire, that was
Yeah.
vintage, but not more fire than
It,
Aaron.
all I gotta say is, if I don't win, it's a travesty. It's a travesty.
Wemby. I need to win.
Great time all time.
We got 2 modern cards versus a vintage card. I know what people are gonna go with. You gotta go with their heart. Somebody said, ask me my top 5 NBA players. Come on. Come on,
Yeah.
my top 5 NBA players all the time.
Yeah, what are they?
Come on. You really want to know my top 5?
Yeah.
All right. In no particular order. Wilt, Mike, Moses,
Mm.
LeBron,
Mm.
and Kobe. That's my top 5.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Can't go
Yeah, it's
wrong.
pretty good. I can't even change that. I can't
And
even
most people
argue.
alone.
That's my
Yeah.
top 5.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love Moses Malone, I think he don't get the credit he deserves. He's a guy
He does.
he's the guy who's the face of the league, multiple time MVP, top tier rebounder, scorer. Yeah.
My husband said Jordan number 1. Cage Lawyer said Kobe is not top 5. Don't do it.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
that's my
Oh,
opinion.
Hey.
okay.
That's my
If
opinion.
Oh.
That's
Dan-
my opinion.
Put in the chat who is his top 5. If Kobe's not top 5,
Yeah,
That's my
Cage,
opinion.
put it in there.
That's my
Let's see.
I got to hit
opinion.
this one. Okay, Ohio Sports says LeBron, Curry, Shaq, Jordan, Duncan. I
Mm.
can't. Ooh, that's fine.
I can't
Wow.
argue with that either. I
Ooh.
can't argue with that either.
That's hard.
No,
Maybe
wait.
we need
I
to have
just
the top
think I
center.
just think when it comes to these top 5 lists, we as a society have selective memory, and the NBA does a poor job of showing the total timeline
Oh, they do.
of like all the NBA players.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we also
like the
have
most-
this idea that Dirk Nowitzki invented the fadeaway jump shot, and Wilt Chamberlain was
did.
doing that in the
He did.
60s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know,
But it goes
I'm just saying.
market, you got Moses Malone. He was a very quiet person, and it's
And like, I love
hard.
Shaquille O'Neal, but the reason why you can't put him in the top 5, like, he underachieved for his career.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was a guy who should have scored 30,000 points, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't like to put him above Wilt Chamberlain, because I think a prime Wilt Chamberlain would destroy Shaquille O'Neal, in my opinion. It's my opinion.
Cage Lawyer said
Jordan,
LeBron, and Wilt
Wilt.
have to be on the top 3. Then you can go 15 different ways.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Cage Lawyer. At least you paying homage to Wilt Chamberlain.
Look at that.
What's crazy that is that I have LeBron number 11 on my list.
Yeah.
I think I think the reason why we hard on LeBron because of social media and because of what he was anointed since high school.
But Sam, he embraced that. He's not a victim.
Oh no, he did.
He embraced that. He wrapped his arms around it, hugged. Yeah.
If he's not the greatest player of all time, we cannot ignore the fact that he's the greatest all-around player ever.
He's okay.
In terms of like the stuff that you talking about a guy who's going to be the all-time leading scorer and he's a pass-first guy.
Yeah, I get that.
And some of the greatest players in NBA history said, if you take the best player from every era and put it in the mixing bowl, you get LeBron James. I'm talking about ability. I'm not talking about will or killer instinct. I'm talking about like basketball ability.
Let me just ask this question to many people. Let me just ask this, and I think you're going to understand where I'm going. Have you ever seen a player 38, 39 years old in your life, or ever seen video of a player 38, 39 years old that's playing like LeBron right now?
No.
And you think that's just eating wheat? And
I mean, the guy take care of his body.
Okay.
He invests millions and millions of dollars into his
all
body.
I'm gonna say is allegedly. That's all I'm gonna say.
Steroids don't make you a better basketball player. Stop it.
He will never be my GOAT.
Stop
He will
it.
never be my GOAT. No.
I mean, he ain't got to be a GOAT. I don't think he's going to be anybody's GOAT. But I'm not going to deny his ability.
Oh, he has ability. Yeah, we can't deny that. But it's about why are you still doing the Stomp the Yard the other night, bouncing up and running around with no hesitation. No.
Well, hey, my night was made because somebody recognized Wilt Chamberlain as a top 3
Yeah.
player all
Okay,
time.
Yeah.
My night was made.
I'm with it.
I'm off the LeBron stuff.
I'm with
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't even bring up Tristan Thompson. I'm with it. I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah,
All I'm
baby.
saying, you put Wilt Chamberlain in any era, if he's not the best player in the league, he's top 3.
I'm not disputing that. I would never dispute that. Not at all.
No.
You talking about LeBron. That's when I get a little shaky.
Well, let's just talk about this awesome Wemby card that I have that
Oh,
needs
yeah,
to win.
it's beautiful.
Let's
It's a
just talk
beautiful.
about it.
That's a beautiful.
This is the fire.
Yeah.
This is the fire.
Let's get a little close up.
I used to hear my reflection on it.
So I
Yeah.
overall, I think this was a first great show, despite our technical
I've
difficulties. Hopefully
loved
we
it.
didn't. Hopefully we didn't lose those videos because I would love to chop them up.
Yeah. Who knows?
But what was the GOAT when it came to ladies too?
Uh,
Everybody always throw that in there.
Well, it's self-proclaimed. My man said 20,000. So
yeah. Wow. That's
But
ridiculous.
if you watch the movie, if you watch the series Goliath, he wished he never said that.
of course
I
he did.
bet.
Yeah, and
I
his
bet.
private moments with his family,
Yeah.
he said he wished he never said
Because you
Yeah. I can see that.
you discredit yourself.
Mhm.
You're legit, and
Yeah.
then you discredit yourself because then you got people who like to run numbers,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and the numbers don't even make sense. So then it's like it's like a kid the other day that said, Kyrie said the Earth is not round, and there was a kid who said something the other day from college. Said something. So when you start saying stuff, it's when people look at you like you go into a whole another realm. So I wish
Yeah.
Wilt probably would have never said that
Yeah.
and let his play speak for itself and did his thing. And,
Oh, yeah.
it would have been
Yeah.
much.
Y'all made my night, man. We made like several Wilt reference. I got people in the chat saying Wilt's the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm about to pull out my whole Wilt PC and smile.
We should probably end it before we get cut off again, and I'm all screwed up and can't go to sleep because there's no closure. I need to have closure.
Well,
Well,
all I know is I've
thank
been
you.
keeping my eye on the chat, and I saw a lot of people say Richie Ashburn. So that's all I gotta say.
So the next chat, let me say something to the chat. The next show, we gotta start talking about Steph Curry. We gotta get this popping, right? But Will is the man. But Jenny and
said.
Sam, thank you
Well
very
said.
much for this opportunity. Everybody in the chat, this has been amazing. I've been thinking about this all day. Been amazing.
Oh, I got a vote from your husband, Jenny.
No, he's
So
sleeping
you know
on
I
the
won.
couch. No, he's sleeping on the couch tonight. I already decided. I see him saying it.
Tasha, you gotta get that burner phone, bro. You
I
can't
got
just
an
come.
Ashburn vote from your husband, Jenny.
Wow.
It's a wrap.
No,
Putting
he's
families
done. Couch.
up.
Couch.
I think I'm the week 1 winner right now.
Yeah, but look, my son-in-law said Wemby. My daughter said Wemby. That's right. I got more people. That's right. We'll
Hey,
see.
before we go, Kay's lawyer says 20,000 body count. That's like C Blast. You got a C Blast shout out.
All right.
Well, thank you to everybody who came into the chat. We really appreciate y'all. Like I always say, take care, be safe, keep collecting, have fun. I appreciate you, Jenny. I appreciate you, FD. Love you guys.
Love you too, brother.